So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. I'm checking the garden. We just finished putting up all the critters, and the garden, the big garden, is coming along. We have things popping up. Already 5 days later, we got some good rain, and we're already seeing life. Give yourself a good 2 weeks, guys, if you're planting from seed, mostly like I do here in our zone, especially if you're putting things in mounds, such as your watermelon, cucumber, pumpkin, whatever, you know, squash. You want to give yourself 2 weeks before you start to go, oh, that's not going to work, or this isn't going to come up, or it's not going to do that. It depends on your weather too. If the ground's not really warming up, a lot of those seeds just sit there. It's just like if you plant tomatoes in April here, you're really not doing anything good. It's just going to sit there, and you chance it getting ruined because you planted them too soon. That's the way it is here in Southeast Tennessee. But I want to answer to some comments and questions and things. If you go down into my playlist, by the way, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so rude. I'm so sorry. My mama taught me better than that. But we thank you for coming back and for being here. If you're new, welcome. But I have playlists on my channel here. And if you are an old-time follower, then you're going to know back in the late summer, it was in August of 2016, I did an entire month series of basically challenging myself to only eat and cook basically what I had grown, what I was getting from my cow, the milk, the cheeses, the kefir, the cottage cheese, all this. And I ate only what I had, and I ate only what I could cook on open fire. Okay? I didn't do it for a day. I didn't do it for a weekend. I did it for basically 31 days. Now, I know there was a day or two that I had to take off because we had a death in the family, maybe around the middle of the month, and I had to go to a funeral. We had to go slightly out of town. So that kind of threw 1 or 2 days off, but I still finished the entire month. There's a lot of great cooking in that video. I cooked new recipes with what I had. I studied it, and I really worked with it. I have to tell you that that's one of the most challenging things that I've done in my entire life, but one of the most educational, because I learned very quickly how when you are pushed into a situation where you basically are working with what you have, what you grow, what you have on your farm, no cheats, and you have to cook it and whip it up yourself, and you are cooking on open fire. First of all, I learned that if you've ever studied history, a lot of people talk about how a lot of times the women's jobs, whether it was on the homestead or on a camp or whatever, their main job was to keep the fire going and to cook. And I want you to know that in order to pull two good meals off in that environment, you are pretty much doing nothing but that. I mean, can you imagine having to milk the cow, keep the baby, all these other things, do the laundry, whatever, all these things that Memo did? Man, you talk about a challenge. Genji, are you joining the crowd? Huh? What are you doing showing up? I want her back up here, not down there. We've already had our, fiasco with the tree. So this is why I'm saying there's a reason I film a lot of my videos in certain places, because I have cats and dogs and all this stuff, and I don't want, I want them up here where they're safe. So here's the point that I'm trying to make to you. If you get into an extreme situation with your food pantry and having to cook and having to manage this, I'm going to just point blank tell you my experience. By day 4, I was meaner than an alley cat, because I was not having any processed sugars and all these other things in my diet. I had cold stone turkey cut them out. And when they tell you when you get through day 3, and people are hungry, or their bodies have changed, or maybe they're not getting their fixes that they're used to, whether they think that they are, addicted or used to certain things or not. You think, I can give up Coke today if I tried. I can give up caffeine today if I tried. I can give up cigarettes today if I tried. In an extreme situation, you're going to be forced to, but you're probably not going to be that lovely of a person, okay? And I think that if you've never really tried this out for yourself, and I know a lot of people say you need to do a weekend type, turn the lights out and do this, for 2 days in a row. It's better than nothing, but frankly, if you're going to test yourself with something, you really need to give yourself at least 30 days if possible, because a lot more things happen in that time period, and you're going to be forced to deal with it than the odds of than what you're going to see of yourself in just 2 or 3 days. Their sister. So I invite you. A lot of people are asking me to do it again. I was actually going to do it in the summer of 2020. But as you know, when we moved here and in the year 2020, I think we all want to forget existed, right? So I didn't do it. Well, get it, buddy. Maybe I'll do it this year when the garden comes in a couple months from now, we'll do it again. But there is a lot of challenges with cooking on wood heat. You're going to find out really quick how much firewood you're going to go through. You're going to find out the time that it takes to keep the fires built. You're going to find out that most of your day is going to be revolved around food, which is exactly what happened, which is exactly what your grandparents and your grandmother, most likely, a couple generations back, was the one that was doing this 18 hours a day. She was doing laundry, she was cleaning, she was helping with the garden, she was doing all these things on different days, yes. But to keep the fire going, to keep the biscuits going, to keep the beans from burning, you literally have to be right on top of it. And your body chemistry completely changes. I don't think most people know that. I mean, a lot of you, maybe you've been through boot camp, maybe you've been through some extreme situation. So some of you, I do believe, have an idea. But I want to challenge you. I don't want you to make yourself sick. I don't want you to do anything that your doctor, I don't want to make anybody sick. And, you can obviously change things up that fit your needs, okay? But I just want to warn you, when they talk about, like I said, when they talk about people becoming really awful after day 3 with no food, limited water, whatever, it's very, very true. That was the first thing that I noted, was that I became very aggressive on day 4. Now, my body moderated after that, but that's the first thing that I noted. I noted the time that it took. I noted the change by day 4. I noticed weight loss. And it's like your body is going through this huge purge. Now, in that situation, it worked for me because, my kids were still, doing whatever they wanted. They ate with me too. I mean, this sort of translated to my whole family. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted, but if they wanted the mama to make the big meals and eat with mama, then they ate what I ate. But they still were allowed, a brown cow or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And, at that time, James was going to work and he took a sandwich or whatever. I didn't allow myself that. So I am thinking about doing it again. I'll have to, organize myself a little bit. But if you want to go down to my playlist and watch it, there's some really good recipes. So I invite you to do that. And I thank all of you all the folks that I know that are writing to me about it or have commented about, have you seen, she did this, did you see? I appreciate you. I mean, because honestly, I did it to challenge myself. I did it to see what it was like. And it was truly one of the best things I've ever done. So you could do it different ways. You can wait until your garden is in to help supplement you a little bit better, to give you a little bit more diversity in your diet. you know, more fresh tomatoes or more fresh cucumbers, fresh corn. That is actually probably going to be a little bit kinder to you than doing it flat out in the winter. But then again, you could be using your canned goods. It also helps if you are, obviously in my situation, I was milking a cow. So I made fresh cheese, I had raw milk, I used real raw honey, a lot of different things like that, real butter. I mean, I was very strict. But I just want to warn you, you know this in your mind. I knew it in my mind, but it's just like anything else. Until you walk it and not just think it, assume it, or talk it, and you actually live through that and go through some of that stress, go through the chemical changes, go through the time process that you need in order to just cook some beans and cornbread. I mean, I'm really serious. It's mind-blowing what you have to do. It's not hard, but there are a lot of tricks. There is a lot of finessing, especially with wood heat. And I would work with wood heat. If you have a wood stove, great. If you have a grill, that might help. But, you know, you can do some of that if you want to cheat a little bit just to get yourself used to it. But honestly, I would build a fire pit like I have a cowboy grill, and I would make myself do it. And I did it in the rain. I did it in the heat. I did it in the morning. I did it when it was getting dark. And I went through the whole process. And I just want to keep, this is the one thing that I pulled away from it. Like I said, everything they tell you after day 3 is absolutely true. If you like this video, come back for more. We have more videos coming your way. We appreciate you. I wanted to drop this off, like I said, to respond to some great people talking about it, and I appreciate you. And, you know, we may do it again. It may not be for a whole month, maybe for a week, and maybe we can present some new and different scenarios. I've obviously learned a little bit more since 2016, and we'll see how it goes. How's that sound? Let me know. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. If you camp a lot, if you've been through boot camp, if you've challenged yourself in any capacity like this, comment about what happened to you, what got you through, how did you adjust, all of your experiences, because everyone else is coming to see that so that they can understand the challenges that lie ahead with everything that we're facing. It's coming, guys. It's coming. Like, subscribe, and share. Love you, love you, love you. She's still on the trailer. That's my girlfriend. Aren't you, Gingy? Gingy. Oh, she's going to ignore me now, right? I know. Guys, we'll see you on the next video.